Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Model Horse Maniac and I'm back again with another Breyer unboxing. This time we've got one Breyer Traditional and one Breyer Classics, and they're both brand new in box. One of them's new this year, new 2025, and one was new last year. And they're both models that I've been looking for a little while, but I tend to wait until they're cheap before I get them, and I found these both for really good prices. Different sellers within a day of each other. So without further ado, let's look at the first pony and I'll let you try and guess who it is. Did you guess right? So this is the Breyer Traditional Salvino, which is actually a weird Breyer model because it's actually one that they made one on the Southern Aero mold last year, or I think it was last year for the Ponies and Palm Trees event. And they actually released the guy as a regular run. I'd have much rather have had him on the other mould, but that is not going to happen within my budget. So this guy was on my radar. He's a really pretty bay, and I'm a sucker for really pretty bays. And if they do gloss him for the Collectors Club, I will be in deep, deep trouble. So yeah, this guy he was sold on eBay. He was they had a few. They still have a few. They were sold as box damaged, so they were sold as no refunds. They didn't have a picture though. They just had a stock picture, so you couldn't actually see how damaged, because as you can imagine, box damage can mean anything from this, which is basically not damaged at all. I wouldn't say. I've had worse models come from Amazon or other sellers that I've paid full price for, but that could be anything from that to completely and utterly train wrecked models, got broken bits, whatever. So it's always a bit of a risk, but this was a risk I was willing to take to see, and one that I'm very happy, because as I said, he has very little actual box damage. The model itself looks absolutely fine, and we're going to rescue him from this plastic case he's been living in for the past however long. I'm going to do the actual unboxing off camera because it's just, I can't see how that would be good content, because it's just painful watching me fiddling with box ties. So I'm going to take him out the box and I'll be right back. And through the power of editing, I am back with a lovely, really nice unboxed pony. This guy is actually way prettier than I even thought he was going to be. I was always going to pick him up, I think, because I do really actually like this mold. It's an Abel sculpt based on the dressage horse Totilas, who is not a horse that I agree with. I don't agree with the way he was trained at all, or the way his front half was always so expressive, and then his back end was just completely lacking muscle or anything. So I don't go out of my way to collect ones on this sculpt, because I just don't agree with the way the horses were trapped. But it is from the front end. This is a super pretty sculpt, and this is definitely, I have a couple of other releases. I do have the original Totilas, and I then have a Dyer HP, I think, the Pinto, also on this release, on this mold. But this is definitely my favourite, I think. I'm really glad I picked him up, because he was one that if I hadn't have been able to find him cheap, he wasn't a must-have regular run for me, so I probably wouldn't have bothered getting him. But he is so pretty. They do such a nice job on the regular runs these days. They've gone up in price, obviously, so much, especially in the UK. But these are so nice. The shading on the bay is absolutely divine. This model is gorgeous. I'm holding him up like this. I'm not putting him on his stand, because if you're a Breyer collector, you will know these stands. And I don't even bother putting them in the hoof now. You can see they've got a little hole that they're meant to clip into. And they just don't do anything. They really don't. I don't know why Breyer even really sell them with them on. You can see they're sort of holding him. I might be wrong on this one. But what happens, even if they do hold him, what happens is they break. I've got quite a few models that come with those little stands that have got them. Either they break off in the hoof, or they just get really cracked and just almost disintegrate. I've had one that I had from new that basically just disintegrated. So I don't really bother with these stands. I just because you can get metal stands, hobby made ones, which are brilliant, but they're also £15 in the UK, and I have about 10 or so models that use these stands, so that quickly gets pretty pricey, so I actually just use blue tack to hold them on, and that seems to work just as well. And I also put them on low shelves, so if they do fall, they don't take that many other models with them. So that's what I'll probably end up doing with this guy, because you just put the stand in and then it snaps, and then you've just got a pony that's now got, you now can't put a metal stand in it even if you wanted to. But stand rant over. This is a really pretty model that I'm really happy I picked up. He's so beautiful. He really is. I'll add some glamour shots so you can see what he looks like in better lighting, and maybe with some tack on as well, because he looks super good. I don't know if I've got any tack that will do him justice though. Now I've placed good old Salvio on a bit of bubble wrap. Salvino, I don't know why I keep saying Salvio. At the side on a bit of bubble wrap, and we're going to move on to the second thing that I got, which is, so this is the Playful Pony family. So I try not to get involved with classics, it's not going well, as evidenced here, but I do have a real soft spot for the Abel Halfling Mare and Halfling Foal, and this was released last year as a Tractor Supply Company exclusive, and I was pretty heartbroken, because usually the Tractor Supply exclusive stablemates we usually get as regular runs the next year, but we don't usually. The traditionals and the classics generally stay as just available from Tractor Supply. So I almost bought this guy from the US, and then I was like, well, no, I'll wait just in case. And I'm so glad I waited, because I saved myself probably about, I don't know, 50 or 60 pounds, honestly, because I really wanted this mare and foal. I like the stallion as well. I do like the stallion. I really like the colour. I'd actually prefer that colour on that pony, I think. But yeah, this was another box damage one from a different seller, and this is proper, like, capital letters box damage. This guy's clearly been through the wars a bit, but that doesn't really bother me. Probably doesn't help that it came to me in a plastic bag, but I'm not that bothered. This is one of the new 2025 sets, and again, I shall open off camera mostly and get back to you when they're all freed from their plastic prison. Hi guys, I'm back, and can I just say, like, for the record, I don't know how anyone manages to ever unbox Breyer on camera without just spending half an hour struggling with cable ties, especially these classic sets. There's so much of these little plastic ties that are now absolutely everywhere, and it's so hard because they have sharp edges and it's really hard to stop them, to keep them from scratching the ponies. So the year's 2025. I think we're probably overdue a new way to package Breyer by now. But anyway, let's get back to the most important thing, the plastic ponies. So we'll start off with what I bought the set for. So this is the Halfling Mare in this really nice grey. I don't have a grey on this mould yet, and this is a really nice grey Halfling Mare that will fit in nicely with my little, like, rainbow of Halfling mares that I've got going on at the moment. I just love this mould so much. I wish she was traditional scale, but she's a really pretty little classics. And equally, I love her little foal. This ginger little foal, this little chestnut foal is absolutely adorable. He is sort of similar. Well, he is actually quite similar to the one that came with the Spanish Mustang family, I believe, as I'm looking up at my conga. But he's still really pretty. Don't get me wrong. I really like it. I bought it. But yeah, he's a really pretty little guy. Again, I just love this mould. If this was a traditional scale, and they've come out from that packaging unscathed. He's got a little mark there, but that's not because the packaging got squished. And then lastly, we have this guy on the American Quarter Horse Stallion, I believe. I have quite a few on this mould just because it's one that I end up finding lots on this mould. It's a mould that's had loads of releases by now, and it's also my childhood era it was introduced, so I've got a couple of childhood ponies or early ponies on this mould as well. And this guy's a really pretty colour. I'd love to see this colour on the mare someday. He's got like an odd, I don't think it will show up on camera, but he's got like a dimple in the plastic. Don't know what that's about. And a little rub in his tail, I can see. But that doesn't really bother me. They're the sort of thing that bothers me if I've paid £50 for this set, because there's also like, he's got some weird dimples in him. He's got some more there. I don't think that's a mould issue because I haven't seen it on the mould before. But regardless, he's a really pretty pony, and I only paid 20 quid for this whole set, so that doesn't bother me too much. So we'll put the little family to one side and have a quick look at the... there goes the foal. The foals are notoriously tippy. Most of mine have blue tack under them. So I was actually surprised when I got this guy and he didn't. He's quite stable, but not entirely stable. So let's have a quick look at the accessories. They're not really anything new. We've got the purple Breyer bucket, the apples, the apple bucket. We've got a water trough. And then I was confused as to why there was only one fence, because one fence doesn't make any sense, but at the bottom there were a load more fences. So I believe we've got 6 in total, which will make a nice little set. And yeah, these are the classics. So this was a good Breyer unboxing. Really happy to find both of these guys. You can see we have the classics family there, and then we have poor Salvino on the bubble wrap where he'll stay. And then I have this to clear up. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more model horse unboxings, and I'll see you all soon.